The Kimberley coast, a lot of it is uncharted. Even on the maps, you buy maps and it's got a little shaded area there and it says uncharted. Risky going into areas like that, but that's the risk you take when you're going on adventures like the Kimberleys. They're right up to the Kimberley coast. Beautiful country, rugged, very isolated. You gotta be really prepared for whatever's going to happen. Extra rope, extra food, water, fuel. Take at least 200 litres more than what you think you're going to take with fuel. There's no roadhouses up the Kimberley coast. But yeah, that's just me. That's what I like doing. I like to explore the Kimberley coast, especially the uncharted areas. This little creek used to be, well, still is part of the Cygnet Bay Pearl Farms, and this was their main thoroughfare creek back in the early days when they first started. They used to bring the barges in, load them out, and then go out and do their pearling. Nowadays they just use it for a tie-up point in the wet season. She's pretty well overgrown, starting to get a lot of mangroves coming up. At the moment, we're just waiting for the tide to come in. We've already put Nunya in. Put her in last night because I wanted to catch the tide today early. We've got a 2 o'clock tide, but I want to get it at about 11:30. I'll get about half a metre flotation, and then I'll probably have to just pull Nunya out instead of trying to drive it out. It's just getting too tight with these mangroves, so I'll walk it out. Karen can stay on board and stay nice and dry, but yeah, hopefully there's no crocs around. I'm having a good old look and I can't really see any at the moment. So yeah, I'll walk her all the way through this creek. Just one thing I definitely recommend is if you're putting your boat, whether it's the tinny or whatever, just inspect the area for crocodiles. Being up in crocodile country, it's you got to respect them. It is their land, and you are just food to them. So yeah, try not to be food and walk the area. Just have a good old look at what's going around. Have a look to see if there's any drag marks, their tails and stuff like that. It's a sure sign there's a crocodile nearby. But yeah, just have a quick, don't go into the mangroves, you don't have to unless you're looking for crabs or something, but yeah, just walk in and out of the creeks and just definitely check for crocodiles. Up here there's just over 2,500 islands. Some of them are still connected to the mainland, but when it's high tide it's called an island. So just over 2,500 islands, and as you enter Talbot Bay it looks like just about all those islands are right here. But Talbot Bay, right. first night on Nunya, we ended up staying in a place called Cyclone Creek. Cyclone Creek is located just north of Horizontal Waterfalls, and an absolute beautiful spot to anchor up for the night. It's calm waters, but just in the morning when we woke up, there was just like an amphitheatre of birds in the mangroves just waking up. Absolutely beautiful, stunning scenery, but that's Cyclone Creek. I can guarantee safe waters there. Just pulled up in a little bay here. The tide's just gone out. She's due back in at about 11:30. But just before she went out, we absolutely got smashed with black tip reef sharks. We had a few snapper around, but the sharks, mate, they were just crazy. So we'll wait till high tide, which is, like I said, about 11:30, and might have a fish, see what happens. If not, we'll try and get a good night's sleep. Well, we just stayed in this creek overnight. For the last 12 hours we've had 2 tides, but the high tide was 2 o'clock this morning, so we didn't want to leave. And it's always exciting after being stuck here for 12 hours, and behind me you can see the tide coming in. And yes, it definitely does come in quite fast. So within the next 40 minutes we should have flotation. Then we're going to head out to the bay and head down to Koolan Island. So we've just pulled over after doing about 450k, and we've taken extra fuel. We've taken extra about 250 litres with the drums. So we're just fueling up. It's just part and parcel of the trip. There's not too many roadhouses out here, so you got to take your fuel with you. Being out in the bush and being peaceful, I just love nature, but most of all I love the serenity of just the Australian bush. And no matter how I go, if I take Nunya or I take the caravan or I'm just taking the cruiser and some swags, there is one item I will not go without, and that's my Engel fridge. Engel fridges have been around for over 50 years. So look, they've proven themselves. Even you look up the old ones are still selling. Some people are keeping them for namesake and stuff like that, but Engel fridges are part of Australia, as far as I'm concerned. They're a part of Australia. Now, if you want to go and get one, or take my advice, go and get one. Pop down to Engel World in Midland, in Western Australia. Go and see Uncle Graham. I can honestly say, mate, what this guy doesn't know about an Engel fridge, it's not even worth knowing. He knows everything. And he'll give you a good deal. Tell him Gus sent you. Down in Engel World, Midland, right next to Gunmartin Tackle. I've taken the old fridge in our caravan, taken it out. Got sick of it going warm and all that. Beer got warm one day, that was enough. So, I've put 2 upright Engels in there, 100 100 litre Ingles, faultless, mate, faultless. I've got a 100 litre upright in Nunya, in the cabin part, and I also take a couple of 40s. I don't go without an Ingle.